Hi, welcome to Math and Computer Tutorial channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.
Okay, for today's video, I will discuss VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP functions on multiple worksheet. So the Excel lookup function an approximate match lookup in one column or one row range and returns the corresponding another one column or one row range. So for example, if I want to display individual students' information like this, coming from different worksheet, so we will be able to do this using the Excel lookup function. Okay, so let us discuss first the VLOOKUP. So we have the lookup functions. We have so-called the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP. You will use VLOOKUP if your table array is in a vertical form, a vertical column like this. So if your table array is in a vertical form, then a VLOOKUP will be used. But if your table array is in a horizontal form, like this, horizontal row, then the HLOOKUP will be used. So this is the syntax for the VLOOKUP function. So first you have the lookup value. The value that you want to look up, also called the lookup value. Okay, second you have your table array. Table array, the range where the lookup value is located. Remember that the lookup value should always be in the first column in the range for the VLOOKUP to work correctly. So assuming that this is your table array, so as you can see that the lookup value be on the first column of your array. Okay, and take note that the lookup value should be arranged in ascending order. Okay. The third argument is the column index number. Okay, so the column number in the range that contains the return value. Okay, so for this example, the return value, so if you want to search the equivalent value of this grade, so the column index number is on column 2. Okay, because this is the column that contains the return value. Okay, then the last argument is the range lookup. For the range lookup, this is optional. Okay, you can specify true if you want an approximate match or false if you want an exact match on the return value. Apply this using Microsoft Excel, Office 365. Okay, so before we will use the VLOOKUP with different worksheet, let us now apply first the VLOOKUP into one array or one worksheet. So for example, given this data, get the equivalent letter grade of this numeric grade for each student. So this is my table array. So it is better to, before you will use the table array, it is better to define or name your array range. Okay, so simply highlight your array and then on your name box, so type your table array. So I already name it with grade table. Okay. Simply type your table name, table's name here. Okay. So this is my grade table array. Okay, so let us now use the VLOOKUP function. So position your cursor here. and then click the insert function. So we have the VLOOKUP function here. Okay, so this is now the syntax. We have the 4 arguments. Click now OK. So you have 4 arguments that we need to supply. So for the lookup value, it is the value to be found in the first column of the table and can be a value, a reference, or a text string. Okay, so our lookup value is the grade. So you need to click the grade here. So click the grade. So this is our lookup value. We are looking for the equivalent grade of this numeric grade. And then your table array. Second argument is your table array. Table array is a table of text, numbers, or logical values. So we are referring to your table array. So this is my table array. So highlight your table array. Do not include the column headings. So as you can see, so you have my grade table. That is the name of my, because I named this range as grade table. And then your column index number is the column number in the table array from which a matching value should be returned. Okay, so the return value, column 2 or the column index 2. Okay, so I have 1, 2. Okay, so this is column 2. And then the range lookup. For your range lookup is a logical value to find the closest match in the first column, sorted in ascending order. So you have to type true or omitted, or type false if you want to find an exact match. Okay, so we will type true or leave it blank because we want to search the approximate value of each grade. Okay, just click now OK. So we have now the B plus. Okay, so then drag or simply double click your mouse here. Okay, so you have now the equivalent grade for its numeric grade. Okay, so let us check for grade of 90, that is B plus. 90 is B plus. Okay, so for the value that is not exact value on the table, so for example 83, we have C plus. Okay, because below 85, below 85, so it falls, the equivalent grade is C plus. So it means that C plus is from grade 75 to 84. Okay. And for the B plus, the grade is from 86 to 90. Okay. 70 is F. So if we will change the value or the equivalent letter grade for numeric, let us check if it will change automatically on your equivalent grade here. So let us change this F, then press enter key. So you can see it automatically change the equivalent grade here. Okay, so that's a VLOOKUP function. So what if, for example, let us now apply the VLOOKUP function with different worksheet. So this is an individual student's record. So coming from different worksheet. So this is, I have 3 worksheets here. Students info. Okay, for its students record. So you have the name, course, and year. For the grades worksheet, it indicates the grade, remarks, and the equivalent grade letter. Then you also have students' contact details by contact numbers and email address. Okay, so let us now display individual records coming from these three worksheets. Okay, so I designed this already. So let us now delete this. So for example, I want to, for student number, so this is our lookup value. Okay, so to avoid errors in typing student number, so instead of typing the lookup value, let us create a data validation or list like this. So let us create a list for students number so that you just click the student number to be displayed to avoid typo error. Okay, so to do this, so simply, okay, so how will you do that? To create a data list, so position your cursor here. Okay, then go to data menu. So do you have the data validation here? Click the data validation. Okay, data validation. And we are creating list. So allow, click arrow down, then you have list. Okay, click list. And then your source. So for student number, so click the source. So our source is the student number. So let's now click the students info worksheet. And then let us highlight the students number list here. Okay. Then click now OK. So as you can see, we have now arrow down here. The list is now available. Okay. So you have now the student's number. Simply click this to choose student number. Okay. And then for the remaining rows, say by clicking the student's number, it automatically displays all the information here coming from from different worksheet. So let us now apply the VLOOKUP function. Okay. So you have the VLOOKUP. Click OK. So take note that our VLOOKUP function is always the student number. So this one, whatever student number that you will choose here, it will display the student's information. So your lookup value now is your student number here. Okay, so that is D2. And then your table array. Table array, so we have display the student's name. So the student's name coming from student's info worksheet. So click now the student's info worksheet here. Okay, so this is my student's info worksheet. So your table array. So this is your table array. So highlight your table array. So I already named this table array with student info. Okay. Then the column index position. So take note that we are looking or searching for the student's name, which is on the column index is column 2. Okay. Because column name is column 2 on your table array. Okay, so that is 2. And then your range lookup. So this time I want to find an exact match. Okay, an exact match for student number. So let us now type false. Okay, so click now OK. So, this student number, the student's name is Elefuente Joshua. Okay, so we have for the course and year. So we have the same worksheet that is available on this worksheet, the course and year, students info. So we have the same worksheet. Same table array. So let us edit first the first formula and let us make the lookup value as absolute reference. So press F4. So press F4, function F4 to make this absolute reference because we want the student number here as absolute or fixed reference so that we can copy the formula for course and year. Okay? And then simply change the column index for your course. Okay, so take note that the course is columns 3 on your table array. So 1, 2, 3. And your section is column index 4. Okay, so simply let us change the column index for this lookup value. So for the course, column index is 3 from this table array. Okay, so business analytics and the year section using same table array, but this time the column index is 4. Okay, so let's click 4 here. So this is the year-end section. Okay, for the grade and the grade equivalent, also for the remarks, so the data will be coming from this worksheet, grades worksheet. So you have the grade, remarks, and grade equivalent. So we will use this as your table array. Okay, so from B to E. So I already named this as grade sheet. Okay, so let's go back here. So same procedure. So we have the VLOOKUP. Click OK. So your value, lookup value is always the student number. So your table array now is on grades worksheet. So highlight your table array from column B to column E. Okay, so the column index, take note for the grade, you have column index 2, remarks is index 3, and for equivalent grade is column index 4. Okay, so we're looking for the grade that is column index 2. The range lookup, so we need to match, exact match with the student number. So we'll type false. Okay, so that's the grade. Since we will use the same table array for these next two rows, so let us copy this formula. But first, again, so double click this to edit the formula. Let us fix this lookup value, which is this one, the student number, by pressing F4 to make it fixed or absolute. Press enter key and then drag to copy the formula up to remarks because they have the same table array. Okay, and then let us change the column index. So the grade equivalent is on column 4 on the table array grade sheet. So let us change 2 to 4 because the column index for grade equivalent is 4. Okay. Here, the equivalent grade is column index 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the remarks is column 3. Okay, so let's go back. For remarks, column index is 3. Okay. For the next two rows, so we have contact numbers and email address. So this information will be coming from this worksheet, contact details. So contact numbers and email address of student. So the same, so we'll use the VLOOKUP. Click OK. So your lookup value is the student number. But this time your table array is contact details worksheet. So take note that for every table array, your lookup value should always be the first column on your table array. So as you can see, all my table arrays are started with the student numbers column because that is our lookup value, okay, or the searching value. Okay, so highlight now your table array. So I already named this as contact details array. So the contact numbers is the column index 2 and the email address is column index 3. So type 2 here, exact match. So we'll type false here, then click OK. So same thing, same table array. We'll use same table array here. So you simply copy the formula, but first we need to fix the lookup value, which is F4. Press enter key, then drag it to copy the formula. Okay, then change the column index position where the searching value now is, or the return value is on column 3, which is the email address. Okay, so that is using the VLOOKUP with different worksheets. Now for the HLOOKUP, you can also do this using HLOOKUP. The difference is simply your table will be, or table array will be arranged in horizontal form. Okay. So I'll give you example for how to use the HLOOKUP. So for example, so we already have this grade. So using the VLOOKUP, okay, so you have the equivalent grade here using the VLOOKUP. Okay, so let us use now the HLOOKUP. So I use VLOOKUP using this table because this is in a vertical form. Okay, so this table is in a vertical form. So grade table. And this one is in horizontal form. So I name this table as row table. Okay. I'll teach you how to name range. Okay. So simply highlight your range. And then on your name box, simply type your name range. So say horizontal. table. Okay, so this is your name range. Okay, so let us use the HLOOKUP. So f of x HLOOKUP, because we will use this table in which is in horizontal form. So the same, no? So we have the lookup value. So the lookup value is the grade. So we have the grade, student's grade here. So your lookup value should always type on the first row or on the first column. Okay. And then your table array. So select your table array. Do not include the headings. So this is your row table. The row index num is 2. This is in the second row on your table array. So this is row 2. This is lookup value, row 1. Your search value is row 2. Okay. So therefore, your row index number is 2. Okay. Then you can type, leave it blank or omit for approximately value since it's a grade. So we can type true to find the approximate value of the lookup value. Okay. So we have the true. Then click now OK. So we have B. Double click. So as you can see, they have the same grade. Okay. They have the same return value grade. Both VLOOKUP function and HLOOKUP function. Okay, so that is a VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function application. I hope that this video will help you a lot. Thank you and see you to my next video.